Welcome back, children, into the second part of the poem, The Voice of the Rain. In the first part, we did the summary, the theme, and a little about the poem and the poet. So, here in this second part, we are going to start with the line by line, word by word explanation of the same poem, The Voice of the Rain. So, let us read it. The poem and explanation. The beginning of the poem is, "And who art thou?" said I to the soft falling shower, which, strange to tell, gave me an answer, as here translated. So here in these lines, the poet, he says that I asked the soft falling shower who it was. And he says, and to my surprise, strange enough, it gave me a prompt reply also, or answer also. And that answer, which strange means in a very strange manner, the answer which I got, I have translated the whole answer in the form of poem. It is as follows. So the next line is, I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. Eternal I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea. So the rain continues. In first two lines, it is the poet who is the speaker. He says, I asked, who are you? And I got the answer to my surprise that it was rain, and rain answered. And whatever answer rain gave me, I translated that. So that in first two lines, the speaker, it is the poet. But third line onward, the speaker I stands for, means in first line I stands for the poet, but in third line I stands for the rain. So here it is the answer of rain. Rain says, I am the poem of the earth, and said the voice of rain. So rain answered, and it said that it was the poem of the earth. It said that I am the song of the earth. Eternal I rise, impalpable, out of land and the bottomless sea. And earth said that incessantly, continuously, I keep on rising from the land and unfathomable sea. Bottomless sea means unfathomable sea. I keep on rising continuously into the sky. So this is the meaning of these lines. So it says that I take birth from earth continuously. This cycle is continuous, and from time immemorial, means in immemorable, I have been taking birth from earth and the bottomless ocean, and I form in the form of vapors, I travel to sky. So here the words I have already explained. Who art thou means who are you. Thou means you. Eternal is never ending, incessant or continuous. And then impalpable is which cannot be described, which cannot be touched, means that is called as impalpable. So let us start with the next stanza. Upward to heaven, whence? Upward to heaven, whence? Vaguely formed, altogether changed and yet the same. I descend to lave the drawers, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn. So here in these lines, the poet, when he has asked, so the same answer, rain elaborates her answer, and rain says that upward to heaven means after taking birth from earth, I in the form of vapors, I go toward heaven. I rise upwards towards the sky. Heaven means sky in the form of vapors. Whence? Whence means where. So it says whence, vaguely formed. Vaguely means not clearly. And it says that there, when I reach to sky, I change my form, because I condense into water droplets. So that is vaguely formed, not clearly. You can't see that change, that formation of vapors into the condensed water droplets, altogether changed. And rain says that I change my shape altogether, because from water I change into gas, and then from gas again into water droplets in the sky. So altogether I change my shape altogether, means it gets converted, but still it says altogether changed and yet the same. So it says that I take different shape into the clouds or something, but still I remain same, means still I was water, I was rain when I was on the earth, and when I became vapors, then also I was rain only, water only, and when I condensed into the sky and I formed clouds, then also I was water only, and when I turned into, and then it says I descend to leave the draughts, and means it says that when I change my shape again into water, then also I am same. My basic character is still same, that I am rain. I descend to lave the draughts. So rain says that it comes down to wash the drought, means the earth without rain, which is in dry condition. It says that I come down to wash the drought, and along with that it provides, means to the drought stricken earth it provides water, and it says that it washes Atomies dust layer of globe, means it washes away the dust and small particles. Atomies means small particles. So it washes away the dust and the small particles from the earth's surface, and all that in them, and it says all that in them without me were seeds only, and it says that the seeds that are grown inside the earth, means that lay into the in a sleeping mode in the earth, and they grow into a plant only when they get water, and especially rain water. It serves as elixir for a seed which is in a dormant state in the earth. So it says the seed which without me, means if I would have not come, without me it would have remained into a seed only in dormant state. I come and I give life to those seeds also, means those seeds, they germinate and convert into water once I come down. Latent unborn means, latent is they are in the sleeping into the dormant state, and they were unborn, they haven't taken any birth, they have not got converted into the plant. So it says such seeds which lie into the earth in a dead or in a dormant state, and those who do not take birth, who do not germinate, do not get converted into plant, I come down and I give them water, and then from latent state they come into active state, from unborn state they get converted into a germinating plant. So it says that whatever is lying dead on earth, I come down and I give life to all of them. All word meanings I have already explained to you while describing. I think this descend I have not talked about. Descend means come down, and lave means to level, to wash, to bathe. Next comes and forever by day and night, and rain continues, forever by day and night I give back life to my own origin. So rain says that day and night, this circle of mine, this evaporation of water, this water cycle, it continues, and I come down to give life back to my birthplace, that is life to earth, because without rain earth lies in the dry condition only. So it says day and night this cycle continues, and I keep coming back to give life to my own origin, that is earth. and make pure and beautify it. So it says, along with giving life to its origin, it takes care of it, it enriches it, and it waters it and beautifies it. Because once rain comes down, then greenery, it flourishes on earth, and definitely then earth looks beautiful when greenery is there. So it says that I keep coming down to cleanse the earth, and I keep coming down to beautify it, to make its greenery flourish. For song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, reckoned or unreckoned, duly with love returns. So, reckoned or unreckoned means whether cared for or not cared for. It doesn't affect the rain nor the poet if someone listened to the rain or not, or if someone has paid respect, or someone has enjoyed his song or not. So it says that rain says that it keeps on repeating that life cycle of its, that is the water cycle. It keeps on repeating in order to nourish earth, and then in bracket it is written for song. It says for song. For song means like song. So rain says like song. Rain also, like song originates from its birthplace, so rain also originates from its birthplace. And just like the song only means, like song takes birth from the heart of singer and then travels the whole world, wandering, reckoned or unreckoned. Wandering means traveling. To means it travels. Song once takes birth, it travels to whole world to fulfill the desires of people, those who want to enjoy it. So same way rain says, after taking birth I also travel to fulfill the earth's needs, and I wander. And then after completing the earth's needs, whether reckoned or unreckoned, so it says that whether cared for or if whether someone values me or someone doesn't value me, I complete my cycle, and finally I come back to my birthplace, my origin, the place from where I took origin, and that is earth, whether it is ruined or not. So earth says that in the process of this cleansing the earth and giving life to earth, I get ruined because my water gets dirty. Whether it is ruined or not means sometime it gets dirty, sometime it is in pure form, but it says whether ruined or not, whether cared or not, it returns to the original position with a lot of love to its birthplace. And same is true for the song also. Once it takes birth from the heart of singer or poet, it reverberates all over and returns to, it reverberates all over. All the people, they enjoy it, and after enjoying, after some time they forget it. But the song, it returns back to the heart of the singer, because song always belongs to the singer, to the poet only, and it maybe people forget it after some time, but singer can't, or the originator or the poet can't forget its poem. So they just come back to its originator, that is song comes back to the poet and rain comes back to the earth. So this is all about the poem. It is very small poem but really very important one. Let us have a look at the literary devices of the poem. The first important device used in the poem is personification. See, personification is a device where a non-living thing is treated as a living human being. So here the poet, he has used non-living thing as a living thing. That is rain as a living thing. He has said that to my surprise, rain answered me. That means he has given one living attribute to the rain. So he has converted it into a person. So personification is here, and specifically in the line, I am the poem of earth. Though in the whole poem rain is speaking, but I here stands for rain, so I is for person here. So personification, I am the poem of earth, said the voice of rain. Personification is the device used here. Next is metaphor. Metaphor is indirect comparison between the qualities of different things. indirect, or it can be direct also, but it is a comparison between the qualities of different things. Means there is no match between two things, but we compare them. Poets compare them for bringing some effect into their comparison. They do this, and that is called as metaphor. And here he has compared rain, means rain is being compared to a poem. Like he has said that rain is compared to a song or a poem. So that comparison, in that comparison, it is metaphor. I am the poem of earth. So I stands for personification, but poem of earth stands for metaphor, because rain has compared itself to a poem. So poem of earth is metaphor. Next important device is hyperbole. Hyperbole means exaggerated statements, means whenever some statement is made by the poet in order to heighten the effect of that thing. We all know that sea is bottomless, but he has heightened that effect of unfathomable sea with the word bottomless sea. Means at the place of using sea only, he has used bottomless sea, because he wanted to exaggerate the things. So that exaggeration is called as hyperbole. So in bottomless sea, bottomless word stands for, it is describing sea only, but it is giving special quality of sea, and that too in exaggerated form. So hyperbole is there. And next important device which is there in the poem, it is imagery. Imagery is visual description of something. Means when with the help of words, poets or the writers, they create image of that thing in the brain of the reader, whosoever is reading that poem or that piece of literature. If poet becomes successful in creating the image of that description, whatever is being described in that with the help of those words, if he is able to create the image in the brain or in the mind of the reader, then we say imagery is really very vivid, very beautiful in the poems. And in this poem also there is imagery used in soft falling shower. When we read soft falling shower, so we immediately, our brain immediately starts imagining that what type of rain it would be. It was not very harsh, very hard, but it was a soft falling shower. So imagery is used in this line. So these are the basic literary devices which are used in this poem. So this completes the explanation of your poem. Thank you for paying attention, and now your duty is to revise it and to learn it by heart. And in the next video, in the next lecture, we will do the extracts and important questions of the same poem. Till then, take care. Good day.